In the beginning, all city candy was home to the one and only Harry London Buckeye.
They're moving in herds. They do move in herds.
For many years, they ruled the land.
Until one day, capitalism struck the Candy City. From the ashes rose two new species of Buckeyes.
But for real though, this is what really happened. Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Megan.
And we are going to tell you the story of Buckeyes today.
Harry London Buckeyes and the tragedy of how they fell. All right, so Harry London Buckeyes, let's get some backstory on them, all right?
So they used to be produced by the Harry London Company.
Harry London made this candy, his own chocolate Buckeye recipe, started his own company, had his own factory right here in not here, but in Ohio. Canton, Ohio.
Then they got bought out by Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae still produced the Harry London line for a few years until they discontinued it at the end of last year.
And now, Harry London is gone.
However, we do have Fannie Mae Buckeyes, which they produce.
But
and
what's this other one?
Wagoneer, which, fun
so
story.
Wagoneer, Cedric Wagoneer, was part of the family of Harry London. And after he was brought into the business, after Harry London passed, he took over the company. He decided to start his own company with the same Harry London recipe, but called Wagoneer chocolates. So this comes from the original Harry London recipe, but it's not named Harry London.
Of the two, which one do you think tastes most like the original Harry London Buckeye? You know, for inquiring minds who need to have their Buckeyes.
I say, let's find out.
Okay,
Yes!
Megan. Yay!
All right, so first we have the classic,
The OG
the
Buckeye.
OG, the original, the no longer made Harry London Buckeye. That right there.
I'm like really sad.
It's a very sad thing.
Very sad.
Then we have the Wagoneer Buckeye. And as you can see, there are little ridges around the edge.
And the center's a little
And the
bit
center is a
lighter.
little lighter color. Color may or may not have anything to do with taste. We're going to find out.
I feel like this is a Lay's and Ruffles type of deal. Yeah? No?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably something like that. And then,
Yes, so we don't need to
yes.
confuse.
We got too many Buckeyes. And then, last but not least, we have Fannie Mae.
No, actually Lee's.
It looks similar.
It looks similar to the Harry London one, but we'll figure out the taste.
If you're still looking for like that classic red packaging, I'd say Wagoneers is the closest. So
yeah,
if you're doing,
closest.
you know,
If you still want that classic red and whitish
Yeah.
color,
I know we have a lot of people in Columbus that buy these for Ohio State parties and things. This is probably the closest
Closest
to
you're
the
gonna
color, yeah.
this is more my high school colors of like red and gold.
Yeah.
All right, first
The OG.
the OG. All right, so we got that nice crisp chocolate, smooth peanut butter center. It's nice, classic. It will be missed. It's gorgeous, gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
All right, let's try a Wagoneer next. I'll chop them open. All right. So we got a little bit difference in color. The top part seems to be more peanut butter at the top, just compared to the Harry London. And then the peanut butter is still looking pretty smooth on the inside. It's a little less smooth than Harry London, but can't beat perfection. All right, and then Fannie Mae. All right. Oh, little top part. So less on the top. Still looks like a good bit of peanut butter on the inside. And you got that nice chocolate around the outside. Let's go Harry London, so I can remember what they taste like. Classic.
All right, which one's it going to be?
All right.
That was the control. Now we're into the
experiment part. Let's try Wagoneer. All right.
Describe it for Anna. She really feels.
Yeah.
All right.
Describe
Let's
it.
describe it.
Let me live vicariously.
So the chocolate's good. The peanut butter actually is very creamy. I would say almost the same texture as Harry London. The chocolate's still pretty good.
Do the ridges add anything to it?
The ridges you don't even notice. It starts just
for
melting
fun.
so quickly in your mouth that you're like, you can't even really taste it. So the ridges are really just a look thing. But taste-wise, the chocolate seems a little, I guess, sweeter, I would say, than the Harry London. But overall, like the peanut butter, the whole thing, the texture-wise, it felt very similar to Harry London. Might be a little sweeter, but still good.
Okay.
Still good. All right, Fannie Mae. Let's see. I feel like there's a slight difference in texture-wise.
Of the peanut butter, like
The
is
peanut
it
butter.
chunkier?
Not chunkier, just not as like smooth, melty.
Okay.
harder, if you will.
A little bit, yeah. And then the chocolate, I would say also has a different taste than the Harry London. I would think it's also sweeter than what the Harry London chocolate is.
Of the two, which one's closer?
I would say the Wagoneer's closer. Like, look, definitely the Fannie Mae. But flavor and texture-wise, I would say the Wagoneer. At least in my personal
Now,
opinion.
we should preface everything, or postface everything, I don't think that's the word, everything by saying that the Fannie Mae is not trying to be the Buckeye.
Yes.
The Wagoneer's probably
The Wagoneers
more directly trying to be.
is more trying to be the Buckeye because they came from that company. It was the family recipe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more likely to be closer to Harry London. Fannie Mae is just doing their own thing. Yeah, so Fannie Mae was making their own Buckeye, and then Ferrara bought Fannie Mae, and by extension Harry London, and then basically Ferrara stopped producing the Harry London. So now it's just the Fannie Mae Buckeyes by Fannie Mae. So that's why these will no longer be made, tragically. So yeah, looks-wise, I'd go Fannie Mae, but taste-wise, I think Wagoneer is closest.
And the cool thing about Wagoneers is if you are a dark chocolate fan, they have dark chocolate Buckeyes as well. So if you're not going for that like as sweet chocolate flavor, go for dark.
Hope you learned something about Buckeyes, and hope one of these new options will replace the Harry London in all of our hearts. R.I.P. Harry London Buckeyes.